เนี่ย
เราก็ได้ก่อนที่เขาแตะเสร็จแล้ว
ตายแล้วตายแกสองคนไม่ได้นะไม่คิดว่า
ระวังตรงนี้นะคะ
หน้าเราก็แด
จับ
ง
ไหม
ระวังนะคะไฟเฟยหัวหรือไฟเราพอดีเลยไม่ต้องก้มเลย
ไปกินข้าวได้พ่อก็เข้าได้ปะ
บางอะไรเหรอ
ห้องอะไรเนี่ย
ตัดฟืนเลี้ยงสัตว์เลี้ยง
เลี้ยงสัตว์ไฮเชิญครับเชิญครับ
เขารออยู่นะคะ เข้ามาก่อนค่ะ เข้ามาก่อนค่ะ
เขารออยู่ครับ
ไม่บอกเขาบอกว่าเสียงไม่จอ
อ๋ออยากเลี้ยงสัตว์
So, as you can see on the board, this was the barn. Barn means for animals. All the barns had to be close to the surface. Why? The reason is, you imagine that the enemies attack and for shelter, you take your animals down under the ground. But there were tunnels like this tunnel, like that tunnel that we passed. So maybe it was easy to bring the chicken down here. It was easy to take sheep or goat. But what about horse? What about the tall and big animals? It was not easy to take them down to the tunnels, right? It's impossible to take a horse from here. So that's why the barns have to be close to the ground level. One of the common questions is it hard to carve it? Imagine that they are using some simple materials, some tools to carve here, excavate here. They are taking the soils. I'll not do that because it is because of the protection, but even I can use my hand and the soil can come down. It's very soft. This is tufa stone. Tufa, T-U-F-A, tufa stone. It is volcanic ash. It's not hard rock. So that's why easily they could use very simple tools to carve it. Easily they did it. They went deeper and deeper. When we check archaeologists, when archaeologists checked all the underground cities, they think the rooms close to the surface, they were not very talented at that time. They didn't have enough experience. That's why you can find some mistakes in the rooms. But when you go deeper and deeper, you can see better examples, stronger examples of the rooms. They had experience. They knew better than before how they carved it, how they built it. So, in the barns, of course, they had to feed their animals. So that's why they built this kind of niches in every corner. Do you see the straw here?
Yeah.
Straw.
แล้วก็ถุง
So they
อุตสาหกรรม
they tie their animals here,
ผูกเอาไว้
and the animals they ate the foods here. Or when they need to hang some materials from this hole down to other hole on the opposite side, the stick, and they hang some materials on it. Especially in the kitchen or in this kind of barns, in the rooms, they use this simple system. One other common question, what about the fresh air? If it is under the ground, how they make it? In every room, you can see this kind of small holes. This is closed in present day. I'll show you better example later on. But room to room, there were some, of course, the tunnels, this kind of air ventilation system, air shafts. And what about the heat? What about the water? What about the human waste? You know, this kind of problems they had. I'll talk about all these rooms, all these answers, all these subjects, room to room. This is the bar. Do you have any question till now? No? Okay, let's walk to another one. There's another tunnel here. It is longer than the first one, but not so long. When you walk, as I told you, you need to bow your head, watch your head, please, and also you can hold the walls if it is hard at that moment.
ที่หลวงพ่อปิดฝาแล้วก็ talking about ไอ้ตัวที่ฝาปิดนะครับแล้วเขาบอกอย่างเงี้ยเขาบอก
ไม่เขาบอกว่ามันร้อนที่เสียเวลาเราเปิดเนี่ย
ใต้ถุนบ้านเรา
เราอยากอะไรเรียบร้อยเลยซ้อมมา
เอาลงหัวกงมั่งมั่งกงมั่งมั่งมันก็ใช้ได้นะบ้านไหน
นี่ก็มีท่อหายใจ
ต้องมีรูระบาย
เชิร์ช
เชิญอ๋อเชิญ
นี่ไงแบบนี้
ทำให้ชาดิ
เชิร์ช
ใช่
ไม่ใช่เลยนะเพราะทำไม่ได้พอดีเลยเอาละกลับก่อน
So, one detail firstly I'd like to show you. There's another narrow tunnel, lower tunnel here, connects some other rooms. But we visit only the safest and easiest places, the rooms. It means if we open all these rooms, there are so many other tunnels, rooms going deeper to the left, to the right. And imagine that in the history there was no electricity. So it was dark here. For their safety, they had to build the tunnels, low cells. The reason is, imagine, an enemy came and followed you. You're the local. And you saw the enemies, you were on surface in the village. You saw the enemy and started to run into the cave. But he saw you right behind you, he's following you. So that's why he saw the entrance. Then he entered and tried to catch you. But you are local, you know better than the strangers your place, right? You know your place better than the strangers. So there was no electricity. You knew that where you need to turn. Turn to the left, turn to the right, where? But the enemy didn't know that, of course. And it is low cell, and they had to run or walk like that. It is easy? No, it is not. Also, if they have swords, some other weapons, how they fight? It is hard to fight like that, right? That's why it has to be low cell. And there was another protection. Imagine that they follow you, but at every tunnel, there was a door like this. This is a door. As you can see, here is deeper inside, from inside, here is deeper. But if you come from this side, it is, for you, it is not easy to hold from here, because here it is deeper, and it is larger. So, a local push it to close the door. It was not easy, it is heavy, of course. But close the door. When you close the door, from inside it was easy to hold and open. But from outside, it was not easy. But there is a hole here, so the enemy also can hold here and hardly could push it, right? Why there is a hole here? It's a trap. It is a trick, actually. As an enemy, if you come close here to see, to look at inside, or to try to hold it, you have to get close, but they use their weapons to kill them. This was a trap. So that's why there is a hole here. So they call it as milestone. This milestone was a door. At many tunnels, you will see this kind of huge, some of them broken, but huge doors like that. And what about the air ventilation? So here is one of the good examples. There is a hole from surface, the fresh air comes. But from room to room, there were some tunnels, fresh air vents, and others, right? Maybe when you came here in first moment, when you enter this room in the first moment, you felt the fresh air, thanks to this kind of air ventilation system. But one other problem that they had, what kind of problem? If you stay here more than 1 month, 3 months, sometimes half of the year, if you stay here, what do you need it? Of course fresh air, of course water, food, but it is not enough. Okay, for surviving, food, fresh air and water is enough. But what about other things? You have a religion, you like to pray. So that's why, for a long stays, they built this kind of church. How can I say this is a church? The first reason, all the Orthodox church, all the Orthodox sect church has to face to Jerusalem city. Where is Jerusalem for Turkey? Symbolically, it is east. So this niche faces to east. And this is not enough. There are some other niches around here. They face to the east. But there's a cross sign here, as you can see. So it shows us there was a church here. They used this corner as a
เขาส
church.
ลับลูก
It was
หิน
useful for
มา
that.
ดูตรงนี้แต่พ่อถ่ายแล้ว
So this is the one. Then we'll walk to there.
ถ่ายรูปกางเขนเลย
Next tunnel is a little
ตรงไหน
long
ครับ
tunnel.
กางเขนอยู่ตรงไหน
But there is no any other group behind us, which is good. So you can take your time when you walk. But think the other people behind you, because they are bowing, standing like that, we need to walk properly.
ค่อยๆเดินไปครับอันนี้แหละค่ะที่เป็นการเฉลยบอกว่าเนี่ยช่องแอร์เป็นช่องอากาศ
After the first tunnel, a small room, but we'll not stop over there. We'll move to the another tunnel.
จ้าชัดมี power bank อยู่
มีสเต็ปแล้วนะมันสเต็ปต่ำๆนะค่ะตรงนี้ระวังนะ
เป็นทางลาดนะคะเป็นสเต็ปด้วยนะคะ
โอเคค่ะ
ค่ะ
ไม่แค่มากเลยนะ
ตรงนี้แคบหน่อยนะคะ
โอ้ยห้องนั่งเล่นเหรอคะลิฟวิ่งรูมดูลิฟวิ่งรูมค่ะ
ที่มันอยู่ใต้ดินมันรุ่มไม่ต้องคนสตาร์แต่เวลาเป็นโดนอากาศแล้วเนี่ยมันจะแข็งเลย
อ๋อ
เขาถึงที่รวมเหมือนกันภาษาที่
แล้วก็เป็นลักษณะใจ
แต่การเรียนห้องเรียนเหมือนกัน
คล้ายๆกันแล้วก็มีหลายชั้น
ไม่รู้ทุกคนไม่เลยเนาะ
ใช่เพราะเป็นไม่นั้นอากาศไม่มีก็แย่เลย
ในโซนนั้นมีด้านข้างใช่ไหม
แล้วก็ต้องกระทุ้งขึ้นไป
แอร์ห้องแอร์ท่อระบายแอร์
แล้วมันจะทะลุขึ้นไปข้างบนยังไงอ่ะ
You can see on the board what room it is. Living room, of course.
อ๋อนี่ลิฟวิ่งรูม
ใช่
But there were more than one living room, of course, yeah. There were more than one kitchen, more than one barn, stable, and all other rooms. This is one of the simple example. One question, only one family used it? No, more than one family used it. What about the privacy? every family, they had big families. They had grandparents, grandkids, and father and parents. I mean, they lived together in the same room. There was no so much privacy, but when they sleep in a room, one family used one big rooms. Every family had, if it is possible, had their own private rooms. They used some simple curtains to cover the entrance of the rooms. But for living room, no. All together, people. They had some simple furnitures, but I'm not talking about relaxable, very easy, very nice, comfy sofas and others. No, I'm not talking about this. They had some simple furnitures to sit on it, to use it. And also, you know, this is a cave. Means, and I said, this is very soft soil. So the dust could come, fell down easily. So against this, they use this kind of carpets. This is one. In Turkey, we use the carpet for the grounds generally. But in the history, even my grandmother used the carpet hang like an art. This is an art actually, you know, carpet is an art. So that's why, like a painting, my grandma hang her handmade carpet on her house wall, wall of her house. Always in the living room, not in the, because she was very proud that she finished this hard job by hand, by her hand, and she was very proud to show it to the neighbors. We talked about Turkish carpet a little bit, maybe you remember. We used the double knotting system, and thanks to this, in Turkey, three generations, 4 generations can use the same carpet, even in the heavy traffic areas of the house. Everybody walks over there, but still very good, very strong carpets we have. So this is one of the example of the carpet on the wall. Other question. What about heating? I mean, it was cold here. Yeah, especially in winter season, it can be cold. Warmer than outside, but still cold. So, do we need to keep the, fire here? Yes, if we do this, smokes come out from the air ventilation, and the enemies on the surface could see the smoke, and they understood that there's something strange over there. They could find the entrances easily. So that's why they use the oil lamps, candles, this kind of simple fires to heat the place. Thanks to Tufa, even this much people, 17 people here, if we set our lighters, if we stop here for just 2 minutes, you will feel the difference of the heat inside. Thanks to Tufa actually. This stone, this local stone, used by the local still. There are some local stones harder than this. They use still when they build their houses. Here in Cappadocia, there are 3 colors of soils. You will see it during all our visits when you look at the houses, local houses. Pinky color ones consist of, or red color. The color can be bright or darker. So it means it consists of iron. If it is white color, it consists of calcium. If it is yellow color, it consists of sulfur. S-U-L-P-H-U-R, sulfur. So that's why out there you will see so many houses, these 3 colors. This is one of the answer of the questions. So, you see that right? One more door over there. At the tunnel again. So everywhere. This is the last stairs that we will walk down, and we will reach one large room over there, the storage room. How they keep their foods safe and fresh, we will see down there. You can hold handrails. This is the hardest spot because there are some steep stairs.
ห้องน้ำก็ออกไปข้างนอก
อันนี้คือระบบเหมือนแบบที่ผม
ไม่
ไม่
ต้องกิน
ที่แอบเนี่ยเขาแอบใช้ดูแอบเป็นการที่แต่ว่าช่องแคบอะ
ระวังตรงนี้นะ โดน
ก็หัวนิดหน่อย
อันนี้ก้าวยาวนะก้าวยาวก้าวแบบก้าวเตี้ยๆก้าวไม่เตี้ยก้าวยาวก้าวเตี้ยเหมือนว่าต้องย่อเตี้ย
How deep now? How much?
Something like 10, 13 meter right now. But actually it is a hill. From the beginning we are 13 meter deep, but when we see the exit, we are very close to the surface again. It is hill, that's the reason.
นางงามค่อยๆออกมาทีละคน นางงามค่อยๆออกมา
ใครงาม
นางงาม
ในลูก
นางงาม นางงาม
นี่คืออะไรทีทีห้องนี้ทีที คิดว่าพ่อชอบพ่อสนใจนะไป
มันอัศจรรย์แบบ
มันเป็น
เป็น
อะไร
ภู
ที่
มิ
เห
ปัญ
มือน
ญา
ประวัติ
ที่
ศาสตร์
ล้ำเลิศเลยเย็นเหมือน
เดินดีๆนะมันเท
Do they have toilets inside here?
Yes, it is, but we don't see any example of it. I will talk about the toilet here.
เป็นน้องกล้อง
ขาขึ้นนี่อีกทางหนึ่งใช่ไหมคะออกอีกทาง
Okay, this was the hardest stairs. After this, we are getting close to the exit actually. It is a hill, that's why we are deeper than the first spot, but we are not so deep, we are close to the surface in the same time. It is hill, this is the reason. And after this tunnel, we reached the storage room for the foods. They use this kind of the potteries actually to keep their foods and goods inside fresh. Especially the wheat and wine, they kept it here inside very fresh. Even in 2000 BC, we have the capital of Hittites in northern of Ankara, our capital in central Turkey. So in there, we see gigantic examples of this kind of potteries. They kept the wheat inside very fresh. So this was one of the way to keep them. But did you feel it? This room is cooler than many other rooms that we visited. So thanks to this, they could keep their goods, foods inside fresh long time. One other common question: what was the water sources? They had to drink the water, right? Sure. But if they took the water from outside, from the, let's say, streams, rivers, the enemies, they could poison it easily. Then they could die inside. So that's why they used only the underground water sources. Well, they built the wells. The underground water comes out. Still, later on when you get close there, still you can see the water down there. Still water, but it's not drinkable anymore, of course. But at that time, they take the water from here, they boil it, they drink it after that. And one more question. What about the human waste? When they pee and poo, or if somebody die here, it was dangerous, that body gets raw, you know, so corpse. Decayed, yeah, sorry. Thanks, thank you. Decay. So it should be dangerous for people, it should be the cause of the diseases. What they did, not in this room, but in there were some special rooms far from the living areas they built. They were very deep. Very deep doesn't mean too deep, but they built the toilets over there. They collected the human waste in one spot. They used the limestone to cover it. Sometimes it was dangerous, yes, but when it gets dry, it was very dirty job, but they had to do that because of health reasons. When it gets dry, thanks to the limestone, they took it out of the city in the night time, in the safest moments, hours. And it is the same for the dead bodies. So this was the way for them. Do you have any other question? If you don't, the last room is down here. When we walk down, please don't miss the water.
แล้วเดี๋ยวห้องสุดท้ายแล้วฮะ
ห้องสุดท้ายแล้ว
ห้องโน้นห้องสุดท้ายแล้วก็ออกแล้ว
ทำไมเขาใช้ที่เขาบอกว่า
น้ำแรกไม่ฟูไหวแล้วก็ดับแล้ว
เขาใช้อะไร เวลาไม่น่าตรงคนนี้เวลาปิดเวลาเก็บอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Yeah, we almost finish our visit.
เขามานอนที่ท่อใหญ่จังเลยท่อนี้ระบายชื้น
Put your hat, please. I already crashed mine. This is the last room. This is the room that I can show you, the main ventilation system. Fresh air, you feel it very much, right? We saw some simple, smaller examples of the ventilation shaft. This is the larger one. Of course, it goes to the very high, to the surface. There were more than one. Of course, they needed for every room, not for every room, for the main sensors, they needed more than one ventilation shaft. So the enemies out there, they could find the air ventilation shafts on the surface. They could close to one of them. But there were more than one means there were so many options. Fresh air went in. This is the largest example of the doors. And this is the exit. There's the last tunnel to go out. When you go out, you need to turn the right hand side. Right means the same spot we will reach if you like to shop or if you like to stop at the toilet. For your information, we'll find the same similar goods in every corner. I don't mean don't buy here, I don't mean buy here. You can buy here, or you can just check the prices too. It's up to you. And toilet is over there, Hongnam is over there. If you like to drink tea, coffee, you can do that in 15 minutes, please. Last thing that I need to tell you, the last person will leave here has to close the door.
ไม่งั้นเดี๋ยวขอหนูไปก่อนแล้วกันตายแล้วใครตาโอเดอร์นี่แบบเล่นเลยไอ้นี่เป็นจ้าเล่นหินหน่อยนะ
3-4 ทำท่าเดินออกมาเอาหินไหน
จะปิดหินนี้ไงฮะ
ไม่
ถ้าแบบไปเอามาสนใจ
สวยสวยสวย
เนี่ยตรงนี้ก็ได้ค่ะ
ตรงนี้สวยนะคะ เข้าไปอยู่ข้างในนะคะออกมา
โผล่ได้ตรงประตู
โอนได้คุณพ่อถ่ายให้เรียบร้อยแล้วเดี๋ยว
เดี๋ยวต้องยิน